Hi guys, so today I'm going to be talking about sick people in the church. Sick people in the church. Hey everybody! Today I'm going to be talking about people who aren't well in the church. I'd like to believe one of the ideologies I use to deal better with people around me and also with myself is that the church is a hospital for sick people. Church is a hospital for patients. Patients have come to Christ. Christ heals them and they become better on a regular, they become better as they walk with Christ. Now, there's a variation in how quickly people become better people as they walk with Christ, obviously, because we don't all walk at the same pace. And yeah, you have to kind of imagine like going to a gym and how many people actually lose weight and how many people just bruh. See what I'm saying now? See what I'm saying? People come to Christ, maybe start coming to the church. Some people who are in the church haven't even come to Christ. They just go to the church just to go to church's sake. It's an issue with the mindset. It's nothing to do with you. Now, where you become affected is when you've got people who come to the church, you're all walking with Christ, but some people aren't improving as quickly as yourself. Now, your maybe healing process isn't as quick as the next person, and you have to imagine everyone has come with a different sickness. Sin, same line. Half the people, I don't know how to word this. Okay, so now my main question was, now the way that I dealt with people and the way that they would react to the way that I dealt with them was a bit off. It was completely off. Obviously, if someone wants to fight you, you either run for cover or you defend yourself.
And yeah, it didn't go down too well.
But I have learned by observing myself, you guys, the key to ever trying to improve yourself is prayer and observation. Observe the things that tick you off. Observe the things that annoy you, and learn to either tolerate it or deal with it. By dealing with it, I mean communicating your issues, communicating maybe what annoys you, as opposed to maybe dealing with it another way. I tend to tolerate things, and I learned that not everybody is going to change because you have an issue with the way that they do something, and so kind of have to just make do. We have to get along. I'd like to believe that the church aspires to be one family, and in the real family that I have, you have altercations all the time, you have arguments all the time, we have misunderstandings all the time, but we get through with love, and that is how the church is supposed to grow. Now, the reason why sometimes the love is limited in the church is because most people don't know how to get on with each other. But I have learned by observing myself, you guys, the key to ever trying to improve yourself is prayer and observation. Observe the things that tick you up, observe the things that annoy you, and learn to either tolerate it or deal with it. By dealing with it, I mean communicating your issues, communicating maybe what annoys you, as opposed to maybe dealing with it another way. I tend to tolerate things, and I learned that not everybody is going to change because you have an issue with the way that they do something, and so kind of have to just make do. We have to get along. I'd like to believe that the church aspires to be one family. Things that can limit the love in the church are obviously things like not being able to tolerate one another, not being able to understand one another, and everyone just being super defensive all the time. The best way I've learned to cope is following this ideology that I shared with one of my brothers, which was the church is a hospital for sick people. and you need to literally imagine that everyone around you, including yourself, is sick, and we're all going to God for healing. Everyone's healing process is different, and during this time of healing, if you do not know how to interact with one another without having any discord, it means you're kind of dealing with one another's sickness in a negative way. Now, the way in which you tolerate people is by understanding the specific issues that they're experiencing. Most times you won't know what they're going through because we don't talk to one another. And so I tried actually reaching out to people and speaking to one another and actually saying, oh, hey, how are you? What's up? And in doing this, I started to observe people. I started to observe people who had maybe anger issues just like myself. And I learned to interact with them in a different way. So I'd be a bit more playful with them as opposed to being my normal self, which is like, hi, how you doing? I would interact with them in a more playful and a more joyful way. I probably wouldn't tease them because they tend to be a bit more defensive. I know this because I've been there before and I know exactly how I used to be. And I think it's a lot to do with emotional intelligence and knowing how to interact with people so you can be at peace with one another. I do believe that this is one of the best ways you can exercise love with one another, actually taking time to observe people. I observe that certain people don't like you speaking about them in a certain way, and I'm talking about to their face and not behind their back as well. Like, certain people don't like, you know, when you sit there and you say things like, he's soft, you're moist. Like, some people really just don't do that. Some people can't stand when people do certain things, and you kind of get to learn, and in observation you start to know these things. I mean, the list is endless and it's long. You kind of understand it when you start to exercise this approach in interacting with people. The church is a hospital. Everyone's healing process is different. Everyone's healing stages are different. And at one stage, I think we all get to this, well, we don't all get there, but at one stage you're meant to get to this place of spiritual maturity and learning how to deal with people. And in learning how to deal with people, you realize that physical altercations don't quite solve the issue, and just talking to each other actually solves the issue. When I got to that stage, I had I was having zero fights. I was having more verbal altercations where it was like, don't speak to me like that, I don't like when you talk to me like that. And I found that the more I observed people, the more I communicated how I felt or the way in which they made me feel, I found that we just reached a solution really quickly, which was, don't do it anymore, please. And yeah, that was solved. I remember I used to have this one issue with one of my friends, who's actually one of my close friends now, where she always used to like hit me and tap me and stuff. I don't like people really touching me that way, like, especially when, you know, those people who, when they're talking and they're just like, oh, or they like punch you or they hit you to get your attention, and it's like, ouch, can you not do that? Personally, I don't like it, because I'm coming from a past where I always used to have physical altercations with people, and so those are the small things that kind of tick me off. So
yeah, don't do that. Stop. Can you stop, please? Hey.
The level of maturity that I had reached, and this is not to toot my own horn, but I realized that I had reached a level of maturity when I was able to actually just communicate that, can you please not hit me when you want to say things, because it kind of annoys me a bit and it makes me angry, and I don't like being angry anymore. That literally solved the issue, and to this day she just doesn't do it anymore. I'd like to believe that you become less offended with what people do when you begin to accept that the church is a hospital and everyone's healing process is different. Now, this doesn't mean you should accept when people interact with you in ways that you don't like. If people treat you in a certain way, sometimes, and I say this, but you have to be careful, and this is why it's so important to walk in the Holy Spirit and with the guidance of the Holy Spirit. Don't just do things because you want to do it. There's a reason for everything, and there's a reason why God says, pray and, cast your burden onto me.